Dodge just dropped the biggest hidden gem to let us know what the power plant of the next Hellcat is going to be at SEMA, and no one is talking about it. Well, I'm Stefan from Mod to Fame, and I'm going to be the one to tell you about it. Let's jump into it. Let's go. All right, boys. So I know that I've been away from YouTube for some months, and I said I wasn't coming back just yet, but I had to. These guys are forcing me to come out of my sabbatical, out of my leave, to come and tell you this amazing news that I can't believe no one is talking about. So anyway, Stefan, what are you going on and on about? Dodge said there's no more Hellcat engine. Well, of course, there's no more Hellcat engine as of 2023 is the last year, but they got to replace those cars with something, right? And they have to be powered by something. Now, everybody thinks that that new power plant is the EV. That's what everyone thinks is going to be. However, I'm here to tell you that that's going to be one of the options that Dodge offers within their lineup of vehicles. That Charger EV is going to be just one of the vehicles that they offer, and we'll make another video about the different power plants because everybody is talking about that. But what I want to talk about is the fact that Dodge announced at SEMA and released the fact that they're going to offer that new, I don't know if you remember, I've made a few videos on this now, the Hurricane engine, which is an inline 6-cylinder twin turbocharged engine that they are currently now offering in the Grand Wagoneer. That motor, as soon as Q2 2023, is going to be available as a crate engine. Why is that such a huge deal? It's because that is going to be the performance engine of tomorrow. I've said this in other videos. Now I'm going to make a separate video because they released a lot of information about the Hurricane engine, the different specs. In the last video that I put up talking about this 7 months ago, though, here is what I said about what they're going to use this engine to produce a Hellcat out of. But what I'm also excited about is seeing how it's going to fare inside of the new Hellcat. That's right, guys. That's what I think is going to happen. I think that the next variation of a Hellcat is going to have the high output engine coupled with a hybrid motor. I think it's going to be a hybrid vehicle that the engine is going to produce probably 550. They may bump it up a little bit more, which is why it has such low compression already. They may bump it up a little bit more with more boost. Maybe it makes 550. And electric engine may make another 250 for a total of 800 horsepower. Yeah, that was 7 months ago, almost 8 months ago, that I said that this was going to be the setup. So let's go to Exhibit A. The Hurry Crate is what they're calling these engines that's going to be available as a crate engine that you can buy through power brokers. So the Hurry Crate, the one I want to look at is the one that's in the box, almost like sealed, almost like confidential. And that is the Hurry Crate Cat X is what they're calling it. The other ones are Cat 1, Cat 3. This is a Cat X. Here's what Dodge is doing, kind of throwing us off the scent though. It says it's the next gen drag pack engine. So it's going to be available for the drag pack cars. As you know, Power Brokers is selling body in white cars, drag pack cars. So this is going to be one of the engines that you'll be able to get for your drag pack build. Here's something huge though. It says mid 1000s horsepower is the goal. So mid 1000 would be 1050, 1060, you know, or 1040. All of that is mid 1000. Now, how the heck do you get to 1,000 horsepower with such a small engine? Well, I said it. I said it 7 months ago. Let's break down what's included in here. It's an aluminum race block and head. But it says full race derivative, right? So it's telling you that it's fully built out turbo. So that means that it's going to have, the thing is, it says turbo. I just noticed that, but it doesn't say twin turbo. It says turbo. So it might be a single turbo conversion. But it says power cell. Power cell. To me, that means that this is going to have some sort of power boosting properties, whether that power cell is used to boost a turbo or whether it is a full hybrid, meaning some sort of mix of electrification in addition to the turbo engine. And then it says bottom end upgrades, meaning I guess stronger pistons and rods to be able to handle the power. But I think Dodge is smart, and I think they're throwing us off the scent because I believe, like I said all that time ago, this is a combination that is going to be the new Hellcat power plant. A combination of the inline 6-cylinder turbo. I don't think it's going to be twin turbo. Based on what I'm reading right here, they're very, very smart about the verbiage that they use. If you look at the Hurricane 3, the Hurricane Cat 1, they both say twin turbo. Another thing that it doesn't say is the size of the engine. There's a lot left on the table here. But one thing I know for certain, this is going to be a high performance application engine available in production cars in the near future. They're getting rid of the V8, but they're not dumb. What's going to come out first are these standard twin turbo 6-cylinders, but they are going to announce a combination that is going to be, I'm going to tell you now, about 800 horsepower, which is what I said before, which is going to be the combination of those two things. That is going to be amazing. That is going to absolutely be amazing. This is going to be a performance monster with great efficiency. So you heard it here first, guys. I had to take a break and I had to show you these details because I can tell you right now, they are not going to go through all of this development to sell 20 or to sell 50 of them. You know, drag packs, let's say they, people buy 50, they create 50 drag packs over a 5-year period. They're not spending all that money for that. That's not what companies do. That is being created so that it can go into a production car and it can make thousands of them, tens and thousands of them, because that is how companies work. That is how they drive their costs down. That is how they spend millions of dollars in development and then deliver it to you for 100,000. This is the way that this is going to be possible. So I don't know the year, but my assumption is going to be in 2024, we're going to hear grumblings of a new Hellcat. I don't know if they're going to call it a Hellcat, but based on the fact that they're naming the engines Hurricane Cat, whatever, I think that name is here to stay. For all my diehard V8 lovers that's turning over and itching and throwing your hands up, oh my God, I'm going to tell you right now, these engines are aluminum race block and head, right? So the Hellcat engine, 426, all of them are pretty much steel unless you opt for an aluminum option like available in Drag Pack 5.7, right? It's the way to drive the weight down. I said it in my last video that this motor is probably going to be about 160 pounds lighter than its 6.2 or 6.4 liter variant that it's replacing. In addition to that, turbos are just way more efficient. They just make way more power. And I can speak to that because you're looking at someone who has built a twin turbo Hellcat. And I have one of the only street, fully functioning, daily usable, actually really fast Hellcats that is turbo. A lot of people have tried to follow my lead and they tried to do it themselves, and they haven't been successful in building what I've built. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some race Hellcats, you know, drag race cars that are built that are twin turbo. But as far as street cars, using them as street cars with every functionality that the car came with from the factory, and it's all in place and all working, I'm one of the only ones, guys. And it's actually really, my car is legit fast based on events that I go to, the numbers that I set. My draggy numbers are all public, they're all out there. So you're talking about someone who understands the benefit completely of turbo versus supercharged. So smaller engine, turbo I'm not scared of because basically boost just ups the displacement, right? But all I have to say, guys, is this is amazing information. I can't believe no one has talked about it, but you can bet your bottom dollar that I was right about this 7 months ago. And here it is in writing in front of our face that there's going to be some sort of combination of the 6-cylinder, turbo, and electrification. And I'm calling it now. I think it's going to be single turbo. I do. Looking at this, I think it's going to be single turbo. And for those of you, just a quick reason of why single versus twin. Twin turbos, typically you have to use smaller turbos for packaging reasons, and it just creates more piping and stuff like that. A single turbo, you can run a larger size turbo. Now, the reason why you want to run twin turbos in a factory application is because they spool quickly and you don't have a lot of lag. Big single turbos create lag, but when you have an electric assisted powertrain, you don't care about lag because the electric part gets the engine going faster. It takes care of what would be turbo lag. That's why a small engine like 4-cylinder Hondas that drag race use nitrous, or GTRs will use nitrous off the line to get the turbos spooling, and then it gets going, right? So the electric portion is going to do the same exact thing. So I think it's going to be a big single turbo, which is going to be awesome because we'll talk about that in the next video. So guys, I'm sorry that this is what you had to come back to if you were waiting for a traditional Mod to Fame video. But for those of you who want to know the future of Dodge, the future of Hellcats, this is it right here. This is the shortest path to them being able to release a product like that. This is the shortest road to success, not that EV. That EV is quite a ways away. Trust me when I tell you. They're going to be available. They're going to be selling them in tandem, but it's not the same. Anyway, it's your boy Stefan here from Mod to Fame. And if you like this video, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, hit that bell notification so you don't miss no more videos going forward. And you heard it here first. And your boy Steph is generally right. Anyway, I'll see you guys probably tomorrow, and I'm going to break down all the details of that new Hurricane Inline 6. All right, boys. See you tomorrow.